The WWE Draft starts this Friday, April 26th on SmackDown and continues over on Monday Night Raw. The draft is a big and exciting shakeup for the WWE where champions can swap rosters, superstars can swap rosters, people can get called up from NXT, people can go down to NXT and work on who they are, revive their gimmicks or whatever they want to do, help mentor some young talent and whatnot. And speaking of young talent, today we're going to be talking about NXT in particular and how I think that the NXT rosters are going to be shaken up a little. First things first, let's talk about the superstars that I think are going to be staying on NXT for the time being. Superstars like Trick Williams, your new NXT champion, is absolutely hot right now, but I don't think he should leave NXT now that he's champion. So I think he's going to hold it down for a little bit, have some more great feuds, and get called up hopefully soon. Some other NXT names that I think will stay on the roster as well: Oba, Lola Vice, Lexis King, Roxanne, and Dijak. It makes sense for those people to stay in NXT and hold it down, continue developing, continue their storylines, and come up for the right opportunity. But shout out to everybody on NXT. Now let's talk about the new wrestlers coming down to NXT. I don't like the word coming down. I don't see NXT as a developmental show anymore. Obviously it's newer and it's a show where they're trying out a lot of stuff and some of the wrestlers are maybe still new to this and don't have as much experience, but it's still a very good product. You could look at it as just another main roster branch. And I think over the last few years, we've really seen that to be true. And NXT has really solidified itself as a real wrestling brand. So I think these wrestlers are going to be coming over to NXT, working on their craft, helping mentor some of the youth, and, you know, maybe reviving their careers, changing up their gimmicks or whatever. Number one on the list, Shinsuke Nakamura. Man, love Shinsuke. Everybody loves Shinsuke, I think. Maybe, probably, potentially. Shinsuke is amazing. One of the best wrestlers in the game right now. Just has feuded with absolutely everybody, it seems like. And there just hasn't been anything that stuck for him. I mean, it was cool when he was doing those backstage promos in Japanese, and he had this cool, like, gimmick when he was going against Cody and Seth, but that was somewhat short-lived, and I don't know how long they can keep up something like that. But Shinsuke, I wish there was something for him right now. I can't think of anything. It's not my job, so it's fine, but like, I think Shinsuke could go down to NXT, help mentor the youth, drop some banger matches with some new faces, and maybe find himself again. Maybe they'll find something for him and hopefully an opportunity will arise. But Shinsuke going down there with that same gimmick, honestly, could work, and that could be exciting for Shinsuke Nakamura. And here's a few that have been teased over the last few weeks that I think are pretty much solidified at this point. Final Testament has been showing up in NXT, and they're pretty much gonna come to NXT at this point. They just dropped a little promo at this recent show that the Authors of Pain are going to be coming for the NXT Tag Team Championship, so that's going to happen. Final Testament going to be invading NXT for a while. Another group that just maybe hasn't had the right opportunity. I think the pieces are there. They just need more time or need the right chance or need the right scenario. So might as well throw them in NXT, let them get some new storylines and whatnot. Give Karrion Kross an opportunity to really like build himself to be like this big, strong guy, because it's kind of somewhat, I don't know, unpopular opinion, it's still hard to believe that they can go to SmackDown and kind of wreak havoc and take over, because I personally don't have like that belief yet. I think they maybe still need to earn that, and I hope that's fair to say, and maybe they can find that in NXT, and I hope that they do. So Final Testament going down to NXT, sorry for saying that, going to NXT, having a dominant run, and being ready for something bigger in the future. Speaking of big, Ivar has been showing up on NXT as well. The guy can flat out wrestle, man. I have seen him wrestle live. I have never seen a human of that size being able to move the way he moves. He's great. Again, just I wish there was something for him. It's almost like you can't waste him. The guy needs to be shown. He is athletic, he can move, and he should not be able to do the things that he does. And I think being able to showcase him on a show like NXT makes a lot of sense, and he can get some good work in NXT. So I'm excited for Ivar to get some more eyes down there. And these next two superstars were on their most recent showing of NXT, Shayna Baszler and Natalya. It seems like they're going to be feuding a little bit in NXT. Again, both women that are probably tweeners, if you want to call them that. They can be in NXT, they can be on any main roster brand, it doesn't really matter. But I could definitely see them spending more time in NXT. They're really, really experienced wrestlers, and they could probably provide a lot of useful information for the young guys and gals down there. So that'll be exciting for them. Now, these last two choices are interesting because I'm actually going to be breaking up two groups here. So first off, Giovani Vinci. On the most recent episode of Raw, he was pretty much kicked out of Imperium. Gunther called the hit. Ludwig Kaiser did the hit. Giovani Vinci is out of Imperium at this point, and I think it's time for him to have a singles run. I don't think that singles run is going to be on Raw or SmackDown. I think it's going to be on NXT. He had a good run in NXT, so I think it makes sense for that, and maybe he can find his footing and do something else. Hopefully we'll see Giovani Vinci not in Imperium anymore, and I think that probably means that Ludwig Kaiser's going to have a solo run as well, potentially, which could be exciting. Now, here's another shakeup. Angelo Dawkins going to NXT and having a run of his own, because he's obviously been incredible with the Street Profits, but the Street Profits, they're great. They really are. They're one of the most entertaining tag teams out there. I just think that something needs to change, and just try splitting them up. If it doesn't work, they can bring them back together or whatever. But I think Montez Ford needs a solo run. He's so good in the ring. And I would like to see him compete for a solo championship, United States Championship. Imagine Montez Ford and Logan Paul. That would be incredible viral stuff there. But again, let's talk Angelo Dawkins here. I think he can have a great run in NXT, showcase his athleticism, showcase a little dominant run from him, and put him in the right opportunity, have some good matches with some guys down there. I don't know. Angelo Dawkins, Trick Williams could be fun. They're both big bodies. They're both athletic. That could be a good title defense for Trick Williams now that he's the NXT champion. So that makes a lot of sense in my book. I don't love splitting tag teams up, but I think it's necessary, at least for experimentation. And again, this is just fantasy booking, so we'll see. But those are my draft predictions. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. Did I miss anything? Did I get anything wrong? Do you guys have any differing opinions? Let me know in the comments. I'm truly curious to see what you guys have to say. Now, again, this is going to make a lot more sense when you watch my other videos too. You got to know who I think is going to Raw, staying on Raw, who I think is going to SmackDown, staying on SmackDown. It makes a lot more sense when you know my entire draft predictions, but at the end of the day, we'll see how it really goes down. I'm excited nonetheless. Again, let me know in the comments down below what you guys think, and check out the other videos on the channel for more WWE content.